And if you believe that about yourself, if you believe I have something bigger, something better, something greater to contribute to the world, you're going to get on board with, hey, this guy gets me. This guy thinks like I do. And people do business with people who believe what they believe. Hey, knock, knock, everybody. Derick Van Ness here, live in the Business Owner Success Lab. Excited to have you here this morning. And just want you to know that we're going to be going over a really exciting topic today. And it's really the idea of how do I take my purpose, the things that I'm excellent at, the things that I love in the world, how do I bring that into my business at a higher level and create greater profits and fulfillment along the way, right? And this is sort of the exciting thing that everybody wants to be able to do, but I think a lot of people get caught up in the trenches. So we're going to really dismantle how this works and kind of break it down for you. Anyway, let's just jump into the topic at hand, because this is a really big one, and I want to make sure we knock this out of the park over the next 30 minutes or so here and really make this valuable for you. So the first thing we want to establish about you and your business is your business starts with you, right? If you're the business owner, everything you do in the business matters. You may not think so, but it's a little bit like being a parent. Your kids model your behavior, right? So if you argue and fight with your spouse, your kids are going to see that as how to resolve problems, right? If you're very peaceful and loving, they're going to see that. If you're very patient, they're going to see that. If you're not so patient, or you're grouchy, or you're angry, or aggressive, they're going to see that. It's the same thing in your business. So the first thing we need to do to get really, really clear on all this and how much impact you can really have in your business, even if you've got bunches and bunches of employees, is it all starts at the top. If you don't make the change, it's very, very difficult for other people to make the change. And when we're talking about building an organization that has purpose, that has meaning beyond just make a buck and be able to pay my mortgage, then we need to bring that back to ourselves. One of the things that I believe in is that personal responsibility is the key, right? I truly believe that you can't delegate personal responsibility. You can't delegate success. You can't delegate your health. You can't delegate your money. You can't delegate your relationships. You have to take this stuff on, and the things that you choose to take on happen, and the things that you don't choose to take on suffer, right? So this is something that you're going to have to consciously, as a business owner, take upon yourself, is this sense of personal responsibility to bring this purpose forth into your business, okay? So the questions you want to ask yourself as you're looking at how do I bring the best version of myself into my business is this. And the reason I'm going into this is a very simple equation. Dollars follow value. I'll say that again. Dollars follow value. And what I mean by that is the more value you create in the world, the more dollars people are willing to exchange for it, right? So if you don't create value at a different level than your competition or other people in the marketplace, it's going to be very difficult for you to raise your income, charge more for your services, do better financially. So I really want you to think about that and ask yourself, who am I as an individual, right? What makes me unique? Where am I gifted? What's important to me? What are my values? And you really want to get clear on that, because if you know what's important to you, and a lot of times it's going back to, why did I start this business in the first place? Most people don't just like reach into a hat, pull out a name and say, oh, I'm going to be an XYZ business. There's usually a reason you got into the business you're in. So I want you to go back to and connect to that. If in fact that isn't a reason, and listen, I've worked with lots and lots of business owners who their main purpose wasn't necessarily the occupation they chose. It started off to take care of their family, which is great, right? That's a good purpose. But then also it started to extend that my family isn't just me, it's my employees, it's my team, it's my community. And there's plenty of meaning there too. So if you don't have like a super cool passion-based business, and a lot of people don't, I want you to look for where the opportunity is there for you to create value in a way that matters to you, right? And that's really the key here, is that it matters to you. If it doesn't matter to anyone else, like, you know, some of these kids are video game creators, and if you don't like video games, it doesn't matter to you, but it matters to them. And that's what we want you to do, is find the parts of your business that matter to you and create value for you. So here's why we need to do this, and here's how to approach it. If you've ever seen the Simon Sinek TED Talk, we're going to go back to some of those main ideas, but it's really this. There's kind of three levels you can connect with a client, right? There's what we do, right? So this could be, we're an auto shop, we're a dental clinic, we're a real estate investing firm. That's what we do, and that's fine. That tells people that if they need your services, they can use them, but they don't really know a whole lot more, right? So the second layer, and this is where a lot of the better businesses focus, is how we do what we do, right? So the top layer is what we do. This is how we do it. In other words, what makes us different? What makes us unique? What is our unique selling proposition is the marketing language for that. And so a lot of people approach it that way. They say, we're a dental clinic who uses same day technology to get crowns right away. And we do, different kinds of anesthesia or different kinds of whitening or, whatever, something that makes them different. Or like with my financial firm, it's like, we don't just do financial strategy. We do financial strategy, tax savings outside of Wall Street. And it's all aligned with who you are as a human being, right? So that's why we do, how we do what we do. We're not the same as everybody else. We have these different things that we offer, right? And then the third layer, and the unique selling proposition is very effective, right? A lot of people use this. We're a marketing firm that does X. We're a tennis racket manufacturer that does Y, right? And here's what makes us different. We're the highest performance. We're the best value. We're the prettiest to look at. We're what all the cool kids are wearing, whatever it is. And that's really, really effective. But it doesn't create the kind of momentum that we're going to talk about today. And the kind of momentum we're talking about gets created on the third layer deep. And that is why you do what you do. Here's why this is so important. Up to that point, people are like, they offer this service and they do it a little differently. Do I want to trade my dollars for their value? And if I do, maybe I'll trade it. And if I don't, maybe I won't. But they're still weighing out price and value and all of that. When you speak to people from the why level, like why I do what I do, you can start to engage their heart instead of their head. They're thinking about what matters, not what's coming out of their wallet. It creates a movement instead of just a business. And the power in a movement is it's not really about the money so much. I'll give you a really simple example. Apple computers, for the longest time, has not been around or been about being the cheapest computer. They're not even close. They're double what you can get for similar performance out of a PC. So why are people willing to pay double for Apple? Apple has created a movement, right? We've got the iPod, we've got the iPhone, we've got the Apple Watch, we've got all these different things. Their slogan is think different. They're not trying to compete against all the other computers out there price-wise or any of that. They're like, we're doing our own thing. Here's what we stand for. And if you want to go this direction with us, then hop on board and let's go this direction. But there's nothing in there about being the cheapest and in many cases, they may not even be the best, but they stand for something. So how do you connect with people on this why level, right? And bring your purpose, who you are, to the forefront of your messaging. And the way that you do that is you tell people what you believe. So you can just start off with, and you can write this down if you want, I believe ... What do you believe about your business? What do you believe about the services or products you provide? What do you believe that gets you up every morning, even when you're having a terrible month or going through the pandemic or whatever? What is it that gets you through this? What do you believe that your customers will get, right? So I'll give you an example. My company, Big Life Financial, my I believe statement says, I believe that every single person has something unique and valuable to offer to the world, but most people won't fulfill upon those gifts, those things they have to offer the world, because they don't understand money and finance. Most people will stay trapped in the day-to-day, paycheck to paycheck, and they'll never get to bring those gifts to the world. I remove those limitations. I get the money out of the way so that you can live the life you're here to live, right? And so that's what I believe. And if you believe that about yourself, if you believe I have something bigger, something better, something greater to contribute to the world, you're going to get on board with, hey, this guy gets me. This guy thinks like I do. And people do business with people who believe what they believe, right? So people do business with people who believe what they believe. So start asking yourself, what do I believe? If you can understand what you believe, and then you can pass that on to your team so that they buy into that belief, like why we're in business here. We're not just here to make money. We're not here to just turn dollars. We're here to make a difference. And I can tell you this right now, as a business owner, one of the things that I do is I help to judge entrepreneurial contests for high school kids. They have these kids get together, they start a business, they come up with a business plan, they talk about everything. I can tell you right now, all the college and high school kids, having a job or being involved with and doing business with businesses that believe what they believe makes all the difference in the world to them. Every single one of these pitches that these kids do about their business when they're doing the contests and we're grading them includes some sort of affiliation with the charity, with the purpose, with the cause, with something beyond just making dollars and cents. This has become so pivotal to people, a why behind the what. The younger generation especially, but I think it's even permeating and coming up the ladders, right? I mean, I'm in my 40s and this is something that's important to me. I choose to spend my dollars with businesses that I want to support. Like I'm consciously not buying stuff from Amazon this year. It doesn't mean I won't buy anything there. And I think Amazon's a great business. It's just there's so many other businesses that I want to make sure continue to exist. So we buy as many things locally. We buy as many things from little shops or brands or ideas or things that we support because I want to vote with my dollars. And a lot more people are thinking that way. So how do you become the person, the business that people vote with their dollars for, that they want to see you exist? And it's not about being the cheapest. It's about what you stand for, right? This is what makes the purpose part profitable, is you let people know what you stand for beyond just becoming rich, right? Because a lot of people look at business owners and think, oh, they're rich. And the truth is, if you want to get wealthy, being a business owner is one of the best things you can do. But let's not kid ourselves. It is not an easy road, right? It's got its ups and downs. The buck stops with you, and you have to really step it up when things get hard because nobody's there to save you. So, and listen, I embrace that. I live by and believe in personal responsibility. And I've taken my fair share of bloody noses along the way. So I get that. But within all of that, we need to express who we are and why we do what we do. So it's super clear for you to get honest with yourself about that. What are your values? What do you do better than anybody else in your industry? And if you don't know what you do better yet, ask yourself, what could we become world-class at? Where are my competitive advantages at? What are my gifts? What are the things that I bring to the table that are very unique within what I do, right? I'll be honest with you. One of the things that we do in my business, because I was a purpose coach literally for 7 years, I went through a whole process with people on how do you find your purpose? How do you bring it into your business? You're getting like the snapshot, really short version of this with thousands of entrepreneurs. So I bring that into everything we do with my business. Almost never is it about what's your best ROI? How do I make the most money? It's really about what's the life you want to create and what tools are at my disposal to help you create that, right? It's a totally different approach, and clients who care about creating a life that they love want to work with me. And clients who are just like dollars, 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 no matter what, turn and burn employees. I don't care if the investments are burning down the rainforest, whatever. I'm just going to do what I want to do and make as much money as I can. We don't resonate. We don't do business together. And that's okay. They can do business somewhere else. There's nothing wrong with them. There's just no alignment. On the flip side, the clients who do align with me, they're not out there shopping. Can I get 0.5% better somewhere else? Is there someone who will do the same thing slightly cheaper? With the insurance strategies that we teach about building your own banking system and stuff, they're not trying to shop around to every other customer to save a nickel or a dime because they want to work with our firm, because they believe what we believe, right? And so those are the kinds of things that you want to be able to bring into every conversation. So you can do this in every single level of your business. And I would urge you to literally look at, what is the client experience? Client comes in your door, how are they greeted? What is the office or building or whatever you look like? If you do everything online, when people go to your website, what do they see? What is there's something called a brand promise, right? So what is your brand promising to them? And I want you to get to the fact that they're not just buying a product. What does that product give them? So someone told me this once and I thought it was really valuable. They said, if you're a dentist and you sell braces, people aren't buying braces. People are buying a straight smile. People are buying confidence. People are buying looking better, feeling sexy, right? What are your people buying? And what experience, what promise are they getting when they walk in the door or go to your website? How are they greeted? What is the imagery? What's the messaging? And within the transaction, within working with clients, what are you doing to bring you and your values and your purpose to the forefront? It's going to completely differentiate you, just like Apple's differentiated itself from the rest of the market, just like I think is Big Life Financial. And because you're here, I think you probably align with some of this. We're differentiating ourselves as someone who, sure, we're a for-profit company, but that's not our primary purpose. We got to pay the bills, but our primary purpose is to really help people get the money piece figured out so you can go out and make the contribution to the world you're here to make. That's really our brand promise, right? And so figuring out what does your company promise people that's just a little bit different or a lot different than all the competition, and how do you line everything up? So it could be something as simple as, how do you guys answer the phone? A good friend of mine, he and I have very similar ideas. His company used to answer the phone and say, "It's a great day at XYZ company. How may I create value for you?" Because one of his fundamental premises was always create value. And by answering the phone that way, it's not how can I help, but how can I create value for you? It's a subtle difference, but people hear, oh, these people are here to create value for me, right? I had another guy who really believed, he's a chiropractor, and he really believes in the healing power of positivity, excitement, playfulness. So every Friday in his office, they did high five Fridays. Everyone who came through the office, every patient that came through, high five. Every time the team passed each other, high five. When I was working with and coaching this guy, he literally took and he did a photocopy of his hand, he scanned it and sent it to me on a Friday that said, high five Fridays. And he's just that kind of guy because he wants that playfulness. He wants that excitement. He wants that energy in his office. And that's something that when you go to that chiropractic office, you're like, this guy's the coolest guy ever. I love this guy. He's having fun. He loves what he does, and he wants to create positivity and energy in everything that he does. And that's what he believes. And so his people are fiercely loyal to him, right? Fiercely loyal. And you can look at one of the most common things is hairdressers. People are completely loyal, especially women, really, really loyal to their hairdresser, right? Because as guys, we're kind of like, yeah, just kind of cut it. And if it's messed up in 2 weeks, it'll look fine because it's grown out a little. Women are much more particular about that. So they love how their hairdresser does it. They don't trust anybody else. This one person knows my style. I trust him or her. They know how to do what I want them to do. It's not about price. If they raise their prices, guess what? Nobody leaves because they stand for a personal style, a level of trust. There's a promise there that's being fulfilled upon. So for you, I want you to ask yourself, what are the things that I'm uniquely gifted at, or people in my team are uniquely gifted at? How do we bring that to the world in a way that people can understand what we believe? Because I can almost assure you that what you're excellent at somehow aligns with your values. And I want you to make that connection of what are we excellent at and what do we truly believe in? And then I want you to articulate a statement and just do this as an experiment. I want you to write out, I believe, or I do what I do because I believe X, and just write that out. That's going to be your homework for today, right? Nobody's checking on you, but I promise if you do this, it's going to add a level of depth and a level of personalization to your business that people will feel, right? When you go to a business and everything's a little different, even though they do the same stuff, who they're being within what they're doing is different. And that's where the change takes place. It takes place in you first. And then, like I said, it rolls down to your management and to your frontline people. You have to start that, right? The Gandhi quote that says, be the change that you want to see in the world. Get really clear on what kind of purpose, what you want to bring in your business. Write out what you believe and start sharing that with your team and leading by example. I promise it will very quickly roll downhill and the customers will start to have a different experience of you, right? And so I think it's super, super important that you get clear on this stuff and bring it in. And here's the byproduct. A, your people become fiercely loyal. B, you're not just a business, you stand for something. You're part of a movement that matters to people. And even if they have to pay more or jump over the fence or cross a desert to get to you, they will, so that they can support you. And those are the businesses right now that a lot of people are spending their dollars on because they know that there's a lot of businesses struggling, right? Those are the businesses that we're spending our dollars on. Okay, so someone says, so how should I implement this with my business? I do credit repair. So ask yourself, why do we offer credit repair? What difference do you think that credit repair makes in the world? And how do you add something new and valuable that's unique to you to it? Do you make credit repair fun? Do you make credit repair, do you believe that so many people are being inhibited by bad credit? So you're here to empower and lift up those people. And so maybe you bring an inspirational level to your credit repair. It's not just credit repair. It's not just a better credit score. It's a better you to go with that credit score, right? Most of us know that the reason people have tough credit is they've been through some tough times, right? That doesn't just happen overnight. Maybe they have a belief system that's created that credit problem of, I just run up my credit cards until they're gone. And then they get to the end of the rope and they realize, holy cow, I've dug this hole and I can't get out. Whatever it is that you do with credit repair, ask yourself, what's the impact I could really make on these people? Not just lifting up their credit, but what does that do for them? And are there other things? Could we offer some free mindset videos around credit repair? And once you get out of it, how do you not go back? What creates problems with credit in the first place? Why do you believe that those things happen? And how can you create solutions on the front end so that people don't even get into bad credit repair? Now, here's the deal. Does that sell credit repair? Not necessarily. What it does sell is that you care about the people that you do credit repair for. And listen, I'll be honest with you. If I'm looking for a credit repair company, I think of a lot of those kinds of companies as sort of aggressive and they're just trying to take my money. And is it a scam? And is it really going to work? If I have a company who literally is like, I get you. I understand where you're at with your credit. I know how you got there. Here's my personal story of where my credit got screwed up. And listen, I went through a time where my credit got absolutely smashed, right? Back in the 2008, 2009 era. And I had to figure out how to get it fixed. But at the time, I didn't trust most credit repair companies. There's just a lot of people out there that I think are selling you a product and they don't really deliver very well. So what's your brand promise? Can you build trust? Can you build empathy? Can you let the people know? And I don't know anything about you as an individual. I want you to dig into, why do you do credit repair? What difference do you think it makes in the world? And how can you offer some value that no one else is going to offer? One of the things I offer on my my website is I created a free real estate investing course. It's not the be all end all of real estate investing courses, but I have so many clients who want to invest in real estate. I've done a couple hundred transactions myself. And so I know real estate investing like really, really well, inside and out. I've done it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, right? Flipping houses and rentals and all of that, owner financing, all that stuff. And so I created a free course. I'm not making any money on that. What I am doing is aligning with my values. I believe real estate is a tremendous tool to help people get the money out of the way. It's something a lot of people want to do and need to learn about. So I created something for free that's a total value add. Well, here's the deal. Maybe someone can't do business with me or doesn't know me very well yet, but they see this real estate course, they take the course, they go through it, it creates a ton of value for them. Guess what? When they have tax questions, when they have financial questions, when they have other, guess who they call? They call me, right? And because I believe in real estate, that was something that I brought to the table. So I hope that answers your question or gives you some ideas on the credit repair side. But that's really what we're looking to do here, is tap into what we have to offer as human beings. Even if you work in a franchise or anything else, you can really inject your personality and your values and your beliefs into the system, right? The system's like the skeleton, but who you are as a human and who your team is as human beings are the flesh that goes on the bones, that really fleshes everything out, that makes it human. And right now, people are so starved for human attention, not just because of the pandemic, but just because of the disconnection that happens with voicemail and waiting systems and people being so busy transacting business that they won't talk to you as a person or a human being. Don't be that company. You really need to connect with people, your employees, your customers, your vendors. Be a real person. Care about them as people first. If you've ever emailed me or we've ever talked, you know that I always do my best to acknowledge you as a person first and a client second, because that's super important to me, that people know that I care about them as a human, not just as a dollar sign. Because if I care about them as a human, I'll make a lot more dollars anyway. So it's a total win. I get to build relationships with people I like, and I get to make more money. I want that for you too, because I'm creating more value for people by connecting with them. And that's just, it seems backwards, but it's kind of like go slow to go fast, right? Instead of just like turn and burn, turn and burn, turn and burn, invest deeper in people. Sure, you may have less customers, but you can make a lot more per customer, and they're happy to have you do it because their life is better because you're in it. So there's a lot more and a lot deeper that we could go into this thing, but I do try to keep these at about a half an hour. If you like this training, please give me a thumbs up. Give me a fire emoji, smiley face, whatever, if this has been valuable. If you like this kind of content, I do a couple videos a week. You can go over to my YouTube channel. It's just biglifefinancial.com/YouTube. We'll take you to the channel, or you can just Google my name and it'll pop up. But love to see you over there. We do these trainings every single Friday. If you have any ideas or questions or topics you want us to cover on the trainings, I don't know everything in the world, but I do know a lot about a lot. I've been doing this about 15 years, plus real estate before that for a long, long time. So there are a lot of topics, and I know a lot of good people. So just drop it in the comments down below. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, sticking with us. This is something that's near and dear to my heart. I truly believe that if you embrace purpose, so many people are like trying to hide who they are from their customers. If you truly open up and share who you are with your customers, and I realize it's not easy, but you share what you believe with them, that relationship will go so much deeper. It gets price out of the way, gets a lot of the objections out of the way. It builds trust, and you really attract the people that you truly are designed to work with. So get clear on that. Bring it to the forefront. Let people know. Share it with your employees. Watch it go down the ranks, and it will make a massive difference, not only in your bottom line, but in your quality of life. And that's really what I want for you. If I could choose for you to have more money or better quality of life, I'll choose the latter, because that's what I believe money is for in the first place.